My name is Bebiet, and I wanted to have a little video where I go over my Oscar predictions. I had the good fortune to watch all 56 nominations, so, and I need to put my thoughts together and, you know, get ready for the Oscars, which are next Sunday. So, um, I have my notebook here, my pencil, I have my computer here. Whoops. Um, but I'm ready to go. And hopefully there'll be some nice ASMR and you can relax and just go to sleep. I'm sorry if I look like above you. I'm like not used to talking in a camera. but I'm gonna try talking to you, and we'll see how that goes. Okay. So first we have actor in leading role, and first up we have Riz Ahmed from Sound of Metal. This was a very, very good performance. I would be pretty happy if Riz Ahmed won. I mean, I don't want to give any. It's weird. I don't want to give anything away. I literally don't like any kind of spoiler. Even I don't really like knowing what a movie is about. But I'll just say he often was angry in this movie, and not letting go, and not letting what was happening to him happen. And actually, that happens a lot in these best actor in this category. But Riz Ahmed, it was really good. He's really good. I'll just move on. I don't want to get too into them. But next one, Chadwick Boseman. I told my mom actually that he was the front runner. And she was like, "Wow, he must be really happy." And I was like, "Mom, he died." She didn't know. So that was heartbreaking. But his performance from Ma Rainey's Black Bottom was pretty good. It was a bit hammy, but I mean, it had all the beats that it could, that it was supposed to have, and I really liked it. I think the hamminess is kind of due to the writing. I'm forgetting the name of the writer. Let me look up who wrote that. He did Fences as well. Writer. Let's see. August Wilson. Yeah, August Wilson. I like August Wilson, and I honestly really liked Ma Rainey's Black Bottom for quite a number of reasons. But I will say, at least in the way that they presented this, it did seem kind of, I don't know, dramatic. But next up, Anthony Hopkins. Now, Anthony Hopkins was in a movie called The Father. Now, I'll be talking more about this movie later. But Anthony Hopkins, I will say, so I work at a call center, and a lot of my, a lot of the people that I get calls from are old. And honestly, a lot of them, not a lot of them, but there's definitely a fraction of them that deal with some kind of dementia. And some are more kind of what I was saying with Riz Ahmed. Some let it happen, and others don't, and they get angry and frustrated. And Anthony Hopkins pretty much perfectly portrayed, I mean, I can't say perfectly, but from my experience talking with those individuals, it just brought me back almost like in a traumatic way. And it was just so beautiful, and it honestly helped me with my calls when I had, calls with those kinds of people. It helped me understand them a little better, and I think that's the best thing that you can do with a performance. So I really do love Riz Ahmed's performance, but my number one pick is Anthony Hopkins. So that's my pick. Now, next up is Gary Oldman in Mank. I don't have a lot to say about this one. I'll just say that something I said in my Letterboxd review, which is Levski for bums, by the way. I think I said something to the effect of, like, this movie was like watching, it was like getting to know someone that you're pretty sure you're gonna hate, and then you realize that you do hate them, but then it turns out that you love them. That's probably not the best way to put it. But Gary Oldman is very hateable and very lovable in this movie, and I think he was awesome. He seemed like a totally different guy, and he's playing someone a lot younger than he actually is, which you don't see that often, so that's cool. And then lastly, Stephen Yeun. Now, Stephen Yeun, he did a really good job in this movie, Minari. But I don't think it's Oscar worthy, to be honest. I think it's nomination worthy, but I don't think it's Oscar worthy. I don't think he's gonna win either. I think out of all these, Chadwick Boseman is gonna win, and I'm gonna say best next to that because I don't know what else to put. So that's what I'll say. Now, yeah. So for that category, I have Anthony Hopkins as my pick. I have Chadwick Boseman as the winner, just because he did do a really, really good job, and he's unfortunately passed. And I think that would be a great way to honor his legacy, which is a very big legacy. I mean, what a winner. Even if he doesn't win, what a winner. And what a win for us all that we got to see his work. Anyway, next up, actor in a supporting role. A supporting role. Oops. Okay, so we have Sacha Baron Cohen in Trial of Chicago 7. Now that was a movie that I saw. It was alright. It was good. I enjoyed it while I watched it. I thought it was great, and I can't say that it moved me a whole lot, but it was good. And I would say Sacha Baron Cohen's parts were my favorite in the movie. He was the best part of the movie to me. And I think he is someone who genuinely was working off of everyone else in the film, which is great. Normally with those big ensemble casts, you can kind of have people who are trying to take the spotlight for themselves, or whatever it may be. But his role, I don't really think, when I think of that movie, I don't really think of him per se. But when I actually do try to consciously think of his performance, I just feel like I remember his reactions to people and the things he said, and I was like, oh, that was really smart or really funny. And I know a lot of that has to do with the writing, which we'll get to later. But I do think a lot of it has to do with his delivery, and I think he did a really good job. And I mean, if not, anything, it was at least a good casting choice. So, good pick there. Next up, we have Daniel Kaluuya. I mean, he's the front runner. And honestly, I just think it's because of that one scene, the Oscar scene, because of the one, they've been showing it everywhere. This is not good that I am forgetting it. I remember it in my soul, but I can't remember the words right now. It was really good. And he did a fine job everywhere else. To me, I thought that movie was just kind of a retelling of an awesome story. I actually also really wanted to write and direct a movie about Judas, from the Christian story, just because I think it's one of the most fascinating stories. I don't want to get into it too much, but I wanted to cast Gail Garcia Bernal as Judas. I don't know what that would mean, but that's just who I had in mind. But anyway, Daniel Kaluuya, he's the front runner, and yeah, he'll win. He's won everything else. Now up next we have Leslie Odom Jr. Now he was in Hamilton. I have not gotten to see his performance in Hamilton. I did see it live. Luckily, I got a free ticket somehow from my brother, I think. He was playing in Phoenix here, and it was really good, but I did not see his performance. Now, he did really good is One Night in Miami, ... And this movie was, totally fine. I think his performance was really rock solid. He brought something new to the table. He really did seem like he was that character. I forget the name now, but it's a singer who wants to believe that he's doing the right thing, and here's I think Malcolm X who's telling him you're not doing enough, and he just can't believe that. And I think that he played that part really well, not just as a plot device, but just as a part of his soul. Because there's nothing that I'm not really that interested in plot-based acting. I'm interested in character-based acting. And I think it showed a lot of character when he was having those interactions, which, is not really something that I thought of a few other performances. But anyway, neither here nor there, because they're not Oscar nominated. Now, Paul Raci, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. He was in Sound of Metal. He kind of plays the mentor, and it was a very good performance. I looked up his filmography. It wasn't that much. I think it was some TV and a few movies. He's not actually deaf either, but he grew up with deaf speaking. I think his mom was deaf. And he brought a lot of humility to the role. It's not a very showy role, so I don't think it'll win the Oscar. But it was, a very grounded role, and it did everything that it needed to for the movie. Would I have nominated Paul Raci? It doesn't matter. I'm not part of the Academy. Now, next up, another from Judas and the Black Messiah, Lakeith Stanfield. Now, I am so happy to see that he's nominated for an Oscar. Not because I think he'll win. I don't think so. I think if anyone, my brother, but I think if anyone will win, it's going to be Daniel Kaluuya, from that movie anyway. But I think Lakeith Stanfield did a really, really good job. He was a little bit obvious. I mean, there's not a bunch you can do with that role other than be guilty, you know? And he did that really well. And I think he really tried his best, but it's honestly not one of the most interesting roles that he's gotten. Sorry. I just wish he would get an Emmy for Atlanta, but oh well. I'm just happy he got nominated because that means more work. I forget who said that, but somebody won the Oscar and they said, "Thank you, I now get to do better work." And I think that that's really cool. Okay, I promise I'm not gonna go so slow. I'm gonna try to speed it up because there's a lot of nominations. Okay. I mean, actually, maybe I shouldn't rush myself. I don't really know, but go to sleep. Go to sleep. Maybe I should try being. I get amped up. Maybe this wasn't the best choice to try to get you to go to sleep because for me it gets me excited. But if it helps you go to sleep, then I'll be happy. But also, we get to talk about the Oscars, which is great. Now, next up, actress in a leading role, or as I like to call it, best actress. I'm gonna turn that off. Don't worry, that won't happen again. So, actress in a leading role next, or first up, we have Viola Davis from Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Okay, so let me just say, Viola Davis, I have not seen, I think she has How to Get Away with Murder. I haven't seen it, but she always turns in, like, just really solid stuff. Like, she's one of those people, it's not really quite character based, to me anyway. It doesn't seem like it, but it's not quite plot based. I'm not sure what it is, but her method seems to just be really, like, in the moment. And I think it was different for this one. At least it was for me. Or maybe it just had to do with the costumes or the makeup, but she seemed totally like a different person. Like, her attitude, and it was like she's pulling from the same, work, or same themes and ideas that she tends to work with. It's a lot of her work revolves around being a black woman. Not all of it, but a lot of it does. And what I love about this role is that it brought out a whole new side of that. And it really shows a lot of versatility on her part. And I think, thankfully, it shows that there's, there's a lot, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but to me anyway, it just shows that there's a lot that a black woman can be. And I really like that. Now, the next runner-up is, oh, by the way, I don't think I mentioned, actor in a supporting role, who would I have win? I mean, I would have Sacha Baron Cohen win, honestly. I would be pretty happy if Lakeith Stanfield won too. Just because I like him. Sorry. Anyway, sorry. Back to actress in a leading role. Next up we have Andra Day. Now, this movie, only nomination, and it makes sense. Not that good. It was fine. I didn't hate it as much as my high school math teacher hated it. By the way, I'm about to graduate college. And I still talk with my high school math teacher. Anyway, Andra Day from the United States versus Billie Holiday. She did a wonderful job impersonating Billie Holiday, and she had emotion, and it was great. I don't think it's enough to save her from the movie that she's in. I think it works for the Golden Globes, which I believe she won, but I don't think it works for the Oscars. They don't really like, letting movies win when they're not that good. But, I mean, who knows? By the way, I'm not a huge Oscars stan. I mean, I am, but I tend to say they often don't get it right, but sometimes they do, and that's why I watch. Up next, Vanessa Kirby. Now, Vanessa Kirby, a lot of people said that she had a very physical performance, which I think is true at the beginning, obviously, but the rest of it was pretty subdued. I think it was great because it almost reminded me of my girlfriend in some ways, like just some mannerisms that she had. Obviously not the tragedy that she experiences in that movie, but the way that she deals with just hardships and the way she responds to things and the way she processes, it just struck me as a very I don't know, very female. I hope that's not like bad to say. It's called Pieces of a Woman. And obviously, it's something that sometimes I could relate to, but it did just seem to. I should stop talking about this. I thought she did a really good job. I wouldn't mind if she won. I don't think she will, though. Up next, we have Frances McDormand. Now, she, I believe, is the front runner. Yeah, front runner. She already won a few times, twice, for 3 billboards in Fargo. Now, I would not give it to her. I'm sorry. There's no way. That movie, to me, just felt kind of, it was great. It was very poetic, and the cinematography was great, and I loved, seeing and hearing these people's experiences. But it just made me wish that it was a documentary. It just should not have been a narrative fiction movie, half documentary thing. Like, I would have taken Frances McDormand out of the movie. Sorry, Fran. She was very good, but it just felt kind of weird because someone was telling her about an actual death that they experienced, and then she's like, "Yeah, I had someone die too." No, you didn't. But, well, she had someone die, I'm sure, but a lot different than your husband. But, well, now I'm like opening a whole can of worms. Maybe it was excellent. She did a really good job. I don't want to knock the performance. Just for me, not my thing. And then lastly, Carey Mulligan. Carey Mulligan and Promising Young Woman. Now, she did a good job, but I don't think it was amazing. In fact, I kind of got the vibe that it was a British actress doing a American, thing, which I always get that sense, like with Tom Holland doing Spider-Man. Like, I'm like, yeah, you're doing a really good accent here, but it doesn't feel American. And I got the same vibe from this. She's doing a really good accent. She's even given a great performance, but it just doesn't feel like a real character. And I love just character-based, things. So, I would not have her win. I think, honestly, she like would be my prediction. She'd be my pick because Viola Davis just recently won. So did Frances McDormand. Those are the two front runners. Up next is Carey Mulligan. So she's my pick. Oh, she's my rec. She's my best. Sorry, I think I said best. My pick personally would be Viola Davis. My pick. Okay. Best actress in a supporting role. Supporting role. Okay. First, oh boy, from my home country. I mean, I was born in America, but I'm half Bulgarian. Maria Bakalova. Sorry, I can't even pronounce it right. But, here's what I'll say about her. She's got balls of steel. And I think that's why she's nominated. But she did a really good job. Alright. Up next, Glenn Close. Oh, by the way, Maria Bakalova. I keep forgetting to say what they're nominated for. Borat. Need I say any more? No. Okay. Glenn Close. I think I've been moving more and more to a whisper. I don't know what you'll want. I'm actually kind of like talking directly to my girlfriend, by the way, because I know she's gonna be like, she's gonna be watching. Glenn Close and Hillbilly Elegy. So I was having a conversation with my high school history teacher about this, and she found the movie insulting. Anyway, look, she said that it was like a parody of poor people. I kind of went into it knowing that it was going to be a silly movie. So, and I kind of think Ron Howard is silly in general. So I didn't take it too seriously. And I didn't really pay attention to the politics of the movie. I think they're maybe more prevalent in the book. But Glenn Close, I thought, did a really good job. She kind of reminded me of my grandma, which is great. I mean, that's always good. If you can, with your performance, remind someone of someone they really know, I mean, that's awesome. So in a way, I kind of love Glenn Close in this movie. The editing just doesn't do a very good thing for her. Next up, Olivia Colman in The Father. Now, Olivia Colman, I mean, I think she should win. I mean, she just does such a good job. Like, I don't want to get into the movie, but I love performances that have lots of layers. And in her performance, to me, she was both a very strong woman that was doing what she needed to do, but at the same time, she was a little girl. And even now, I'm like getting teary-eyed just thinking about it. But, she was just seeing her father go through this difficult time and sometimes being blamed for it. And, it's no one's fault. And she just did a really, really good job. I mean, she's my pick, obviously. I think she should win. I keep doing that. My pick. Okay. Up next, Amanda Seyfried. Now, I've always had like a love-hate relationship with her. She was in Les Mis and like a few other things, like Red Riding Hood or something like that. And she's in a few other movies. I think some Lovelace and some lesbian dramas. I don't know. I always thought she was good. I kind of forgot about her. But, she's fine. Here, let me write that down, actually. What time is it? 11:20. Yeah, I'll try to edit that out. I might not be able to. But anyway, she did a really good job. I thought she did awesome. I mean, it was a strong performance. What more can I say? Next was, I'm gonna mispronounce this, Ya Jung Yoon. Ya Jung Yoon. And that was in Minari. Which, I mean, she did a really good job. She just is a bad bitch that just don't care. And it was really tragic what happens. She doesn't. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking. Don't expect. I'm sorry, spoiler. You don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, I'm gonna erase that, maybe. But anyway, I don't think she'll win. But she did win the BAFTA. Good for her. And she also called British people snobby, I think. No comment. I think the person who's gonna win is, this one's a toss-up. This is a great category because I really have no clue, and I think everyone could deserve it. Like, I don't think I'd be upset with any of these. Yeah, that one, I'm just gonna go for Olivia Colman because it was my pick. So I'm also going to say that she'll win. Okay. Next, we're getting into some other non-acting categories. This is exciting. Animated feature film. And by the way, I forget if I said it earlier, I've seen all of the nominees, so I can speak on all of them, and I will. First, Onward. Now, most of this movie is just kind of a generic, story, adventure. It's a great movie, adventure-wise. I mean, you're in it, and it's fun. You have it on for the kids. It's one of those great, regular movies. It's not what you'd expect from Pixar. But it did get me in the end. Like, I'd say, I was bawling. I was hardcore bawling. Anything with dads will get me. But, good movie. Next up, we have Over the Moon. Now, Over the Moon was kind of weird. It was a little strange, I'd say. But, it was good. I thought it was fine. I don't want to really get into it. I thought it was a little unfair. I'll put it that way. It was an unfair film, emotionally. I don't think it deserved some of the things that it does. It wastes so much time on certain things that when it gets to the important stuff, you're like, well, hey, why didn't you make the movie about this? But anyway, next up, a Shaun the Sheep movie, Farmageddon. The Sheep movie, Farmageddon. So, that movie was, honestly kind of a blur for me. I thought it was fine. I thought it was, kind of silly and funny, and I would probably be cool if, my kids, future kids, watched it. I'd probably be like, oh, cool, you're playing one of those movies. I forget the name. But, it was just kind of a movie. It was okay. And then next up, we have Soul. This is obviously my pick and my prediction. My pick and best. I mean, I just think it was amazing. It was just the best. And next up we have Wolf Walkers. Which, Wolf Walkers, I'll say that movie, It was, it was good, but it was also kind of not boring, but like it didn't do much for me. Like, I watched it and I was like, wow, this is beautiful, and also this story, and it's cool, and this is exciting, I guess. But was it really exciting? No, not to me anyway. It's great, and I love that studio. I think it's awesome that they're doing hand drawn, what seems to be hand drawn 2D animation. I think that's really great, and they should keep doing that. And I really loved Song of the Sea and Breadwinner, I think it is. Although I preferred Song of the Sea. But I thought Wolfwalkers was fine. Like I said, Soul, that's the one. Now, I'm noticing that I'm taking a lot of time here, and I do have to go to bed because I do have stuff to do. I do have a life. So, how about I pick this up later, hopefully before the Oscars. If not, maybe I'll do a post thing, but at least I have a video out, and hopefully you found it somewhat relaxing. I'm sorry for any of those other moments, but I hope you have a really nice sleep. If you're my girlfriend, I love you, and have a nice sleep. If you're anyone else, I'm not gonna quite say I love you quite yet, because I don't know you yet. But, I'm feeling good about this. So, let's try this again. Let's do it one more time, at least. Okay. Alright. Have a good one. I'll see you later.